Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Big Screen Show. My name is Victor,
I'm Alex.
and we are back bringing you guys another movie review. This time, one we've waited for a pretty decent amount of time. Wonka, Timothée Chalamet, and Wonka. I don't know. Were you excited for this movie?
I was kind of more curious rather than excited.
Okay, fair. I would say the same. Yeah, I would say the same. But it is something that piques the curiosity, because I grew up watching, Johnny Depp's, uh, Wonka, I guess, and so it was like, they're doing it again, but this time we knew he was going to be younger and things like this, so it definitely piqued curiosity for me, but I wouldn't say I was like over the moon excited for it, but I agree with you. It was more so just, intrigued by the idea and ready to watch it. But with that being said, general thoughts. What were your thoughts on Wonka?
Honestly, I was actually surprised by how much I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Because I was really surprised how it was more a musical for this one compared to like what Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But I will say Timothée Chalamet did a really great job as Willy Wonka because it really felt like a younger version of like Gene Wilder's version of Wonka from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He had that much charm, but that really weird, wacky eccentricity, which he really carried. With Timothée Chalamet, really carries out the whole film. Where I actually do believe he was a younger Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
And the movie was pretty funny, good comedic moments, especially considering Willy Wonka going up against like a chocolate cartel with him trying to start himself out as a chocolatier. And but plot was fine. It just has this whole thing where it feels bloated a bit for one character, and then for some parts it just feels a bit iffy for like the scenes like the Oompa Loompa and things like that. But I feel like they kind of made the movie a bit get over complicated when it could have just been kept simple of like Willy Wonka rising up and like taking down a chocolate cartel, and it could have just been that, and then just started over with just him building himself up. But other than that, still pretty enjoyable film. Really good music. Really amazing score that really ties into like the original Willy Wonka film with Gene Wilder, where it just really feels like a first movie prequel to that version, which I really love because the Gene Wilder one is a beloved classic.
Right. So what do you rate it?
I rate the movie actually a 6 out of 10.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, for me, I didn't have much expectations from this. If anything, I was more so curious about Timothée Chalamet's performance and what that was going to be like. And I guess really questioning the plot, like, where are they going to take it, where are they going to go with it. But after seeing it, I think I will agree with you. I definitely was very, very impressed in a positive way with his singing. I definitely was not expecting that quality of production and, with the music, 1 and 2 with his singing, and also the amount of singing and song and dance that there was. I would agree with you. It definitely felt more musical and definitely way more than the previous 2, obviously, no doubt about that. So, the plot, I don't want to say I love it, but I guess I don't hate it either. Like, I'm indifferent, I guess I'll say on that. I'm definitely just indifferent on the plot, no doubt about that. I wish there was more, how can I say this? I wish it was more focused on him and his real come up in the business and like the actual, I guess, chocolate making of it all, and things like this.
Yeah.
But it's fine. What we got is fine. I'm not saying I hate it, but I'm definitely also not saying I love it. I think, which is also really surprising considering how much there was, I think my favorite part of the movie was definitely the song and dance and the music of it all, really. So that was definitely an unexpected twist there for me, at least when I experienced this in the theater. But generally and overall, I will definitely just give this movie a 6 out of 10. I agree with you. I definitely think it's good, but it's just a one-time watch for me. I don't think I'll probably watch it again, at least not for a while. I would definitely rather prefer seeing Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. That's
Charlie in the
the
Chocolate
Tim
Factory.
Burton, Johnny Depp one.
Johnny Depp, yeah, exactly. Tim Burton, exactly. I would much rather watch that one, but you know, there were some songs in Wonka and this one that was definitely very catchy and that I definitely enjoyed. And also, I mean, you know, the set design and all this stuff. I mean, it was really good. Top tier stuff. So I definitely. But one thing that I will say is this: at least it's just my personal experience. I don't know how people are dealing with this. I know some actors in Hollywood have this kind of effect on people, and I definitely didn't think Timothée Chalamet was one of them for me, but after seeing this movie, it definitely was that experience for me. So I want to hear maybe if some of the people have had this effect on me, but for some reason I could not shake the feeling of I'm watching Timothée Chalamet in this movie rather than Willy Wonka himself. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like the John Cena effect. Like I don't see John Cena as Peacemaker, for example. I just see John Cena in a costume.
Right.
But it's like that kind of thing, and I kind of felt that way with this, and that's weird because I wouldn't say I'm a huge Timothée Chalamet fan or have seen a bunch of his stuff. So like definitely not on the level of like John Cena, who I've seen for a lot of my life because I used to even watch WWE. So that his effect on me is very strong in that sense. But for some reason, I really just couldn't shake it. I was more so like in my head while the movie was going on, just really thinking like, man, Timothy's good at this, Timothy's good at that, or I don't like this from Timothy. I wasn't really calling him Willie, I wasn't seeing him in that character. But, maybe that's a me thing, but that doesn't take away from the movie and from his performance, although I will say he did a great job. Like I said, I think he did a good job, capturing that younger Willie and energetic, and again the singing. So I just wanted to mention that because I want to see if anybody out there was having a similar experience, or if I might be the only one. Who knows? But so 6 and 6.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So with that being said, now we're gonna move into some spoiler territory and get into some more detailed stuff about the movie and less vague. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, please click off the video. This is your spoiler warning. However, if you have not subscribed to the channel and you don't know how things work around here, we try to bring you guys videos at least once a week. So if you guys want to join us on this journey, we would really, really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. And if you like this video, please make sure to let us know by hitting that thumbs up button on there because that really does help us out. Now, with that being said, Alex, what were your thoughts on Wonka, more specifically, the plot?
Again, for the opening, it really had me where it literally started with Willy Wonka literally coming back from traveling and him starting out like, him trying to sell his chocolate and everything.
Right.
Again, it also kind of shows like his nature, what's very fantastical, because it literally starts with him literally at the beginning of the movie just singing and keeping his imaginations going up for like his future as a chocolatier.
Definitely had big dreams.
Oh yeah, big dreams. Because again, that's the one thing I like about this movie. It really gives us a really fantastical type of environment for this movie, which again is what the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory did for Gene Wilder, which again why I feel like there's a really greater connection here. But the first part of the movie was really good, where it was him starting up and trying to sell his very odd but special chocolates to people, and him basically facing these chocolate cartel guys who had like a huge monopoly on like chocolate selling, including the people. Because really, chocolate is like a currency in this thing more so.
Oh yeah.
Because like the police chief really is paid in chocolate by the chocolate cartel guys, and I feel like it could have kept on that focus of the movie where Wonka is basically trying to like sell his chocolate and having more people crave his chocolate over the chocolate cartel one, which I thought in the chocolate cartel trying to like stop Wonka from selling it, that could have been like a really good straightforward film that he does, but it then just diverges into like then another subplot. But the first part of it still very
the subplot with Noodle.
Yeah, subplot. Yeah, with Noodle.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, first part storytelling was like pretty almost pretty solid enough. But I still felt like it just kind of felt overcomplicated with like Noodle, and then kind of put a twist on like what the Oompa Loompas are in a way, kind of.
How so?
Like, we know usually, like, the past Wonka films, the Oompa Loompas were found by Wonka, and he recruited them to basically help run his factory.
Oh, yeah.
But in this case...
he's kind of against Willy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was... One Oompa Loompa was against him the whole time and blamed him for, like, being kicked off his island. And it was basically, for, like, 3 to 4 years...
Basically felt like Willy was stealing their cocoa.
Yeah.
And that was his reason, or their reason for, I guess, their beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, by the end of it, he's like, yeah, we're cool now. I'm gonna help you make your chocolate factory and everything. That's because And again, the Oompa Loompa
that's
wasn't.
weak.
Yeah,
that's weak writing, definitely.
Yeah, and the thing is, Oompa Loompa wasn't really in it that much to like. I mean, he
literally
did
not at all. Yeah, literally. Yeah. Almost could have done without it. Really, it could have just been chalked up to at this point in Willie's life, he hadn't crossed paths with the Oompa Loompas yet.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to just take the Oompa Loompas out of the movie completely.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you were saying.
Yeah, but we'll say Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. He didn't really look too bad, especially with, like the CG stuff of that.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, plus he did a good job with his Oompa Loompa song stuff. That was like I really liked that.
Yeah.
But again, he really doesn't do much except for be like more of like a petty annoyance to Wonka by stealing his chocolate.
Yeah.
And he had like
it's more like a pest.
Yeah, and he had like one moment where he helped Willie at the end of the movie, but that's about it. And then it just felt kind of weak, where we didn't really need the Oompa Loompa in the movie.
Yeah. It definitely is like borderline, very close to the borderline. One of those characters that's like kind of unnecessary in the film, where it kind of just takes up unnecessary space, and you could have done something else within that space or with that time. Mm-hmm. But I say borderline, really close to the borderline, because it essentially really is kind of one of those characters, but due to the fact that it is Oompa Loompa, it's like, whatever. You already did it, so I guess I'll deal.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's like part of the whole Wonka aesthetic,
Exactly.
I'm Oompa Loompa, so it's just like fit that standard requirement, I guess, for it.
Yeah.
But
it was good to see the Oompa Loompas go back to the Gene Wilder type of look with the kind of more orangey faces and the
green hair,
so that was a nice twist, but not nice twist, but nice addition to that through the Oompa Loompas there, because definitely, as we know, in the Johnny Depp version, they're just like completely different. So
they just look as regular tiny people in that version.
Exactly.
But because in the books, Oompa Loompas were like more described as from like the Gene Wilder one, and then of course the Wonka film.
Right. So on the noodle subplot, what were your thoughts on that? Well, I guess really quickly, I'll say as far as what you've said and your thoughts on the overall plot, which I already talked about the Oompa Loompas. I agree. I definitely think if it was just like focused on the whole cartel thing and just like more straightforward in that sense, like the plot could have actually been a lot stronger, and if anything, it could have also opened up a lot more space to do a lot more different things, like what I was referring to earlier, focus on him and the chocolate making and and like the true, I guess, magic of who Willie really is, a chocolatier.
Yeah. Because
I felt like out of all the things this movie did and out of all the things the plot had in it, that was what was borderline least. Which is sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
I think it was sad. At least for me, it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, they did have one moment where he had like his actual chocolate store and stuff, but that was it was. But that was like more of a sabotage by the chocolate cartel, which is good, which is actually what I wanted to see in him. But I want to see him more like him be more popular and growing and like kind of weeding out the chocolate cartel and stuff like that.
And persevere over them burning down his factory, and like persevere and like open it back up and even bigger this time, and like or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But they did sabotage his business and had him like quit and like be gone. But like then that's when it kind of does like full into like the whole noodle storyline thing, where as it turns out that because as it turned out she's actually her lineage is she's actually like the daughter of one of the chocolate cartel's members' brothers, but the brother died, and then she basically was taken by one of the cartel members and just kind of like dumped in a laundry chute.
Yeah.
And then everything
borderline prison, really.
Yeah, borderline prisoner, really, by a whole debt by Miss Scrubbit, where it basically takes people and puts them under like this crazy contract where you basically have to like do scrubbing laundry and stuff like years and years to pay off debt, which racked up ridiculously. And that's again, that wasn't so bad, because then we got like more assistance to help Wonka, which would have been helpful with how he got his chocolate factory started. Human associates to get everything going, which was fine. They were fun, good characters, good addition. But again, we get to the noodle plot line where it's like we find out that she does have lineage of being a chocolate cartel member associated, but like again, it doesn't really do much of anything really because by the end of the movie, she does find like her mother, who was believed to have been gone or been gone or anything because the chocolate cartel guys literally had seen like Noodle died while he was under their care and everything.
Yeah.
But that's happy and everything. But again, her being a part of the cartel lineage thing doesn't really have any benefit or any necessary addition to it.
Yeah,
it would have been
especially
fine.
to Wonka, especially to Willie.
Yeah,
which should be like at the central focus, I believe.
Yeah, I know they wanted to probably do like a child insert since like in all the past versions of the Wonka films, there was always like a child that was kind of going through the motion,
right?
Going through the experience of like Wonka's like chocolate making everything,
right?
But I feel like they kind of overcomplicated it. Where it could have been fine as Newell could have been like the one who had been like going through tasting Wonka's chocolate and seeing his upbringing and everything, and her being along for the ride. Which writing wise, it could have been done somehow, but like. I feel like it just kind of detracts from it.
Yeah. Would you go as far as to say Noodle is, I guess, like it could have done without?
I wouldn't say completely because she did help him most of all with trying to help sell his chocolate and help get him out of there from like this laundry prison.
Right.
So like she would have been a good assistant help going forward since like everyone in the town that associated with Wonka helped him from trying to avoid the authorities and the chocolate cartel from taking him down when he was selling his chocolate and stuff.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it could really do without her, but if she wasn't in it, it really wouldn't detract. It really would take away that much.
Right.
So the Wonka would have found a way out regardless.
Right. It's almost like if she is in it, it almost takes away more than if she was out of it, because it does take away, but not as much.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you, and I agree. I definitely agree. But I honestly don't have much to add on the plot because I pretty much think you nailed it, and I guess that makes sense, right? We have the same rating. I fully agree with you on pretty much everything you just said. And like I said, I'll keep saying this. I'm just really sad that we didn't get more of that, like Willie in central focus, and Willie in his bag, right? Like he's young. Like let's see how the whole how he even came to making the chocolates and all this stuff. But one thing I did appreciate is still seeing the cool effects from drinking, or not drinking, eating the weird chocolates and all the different things, hair growth and all these
levitation,
right? All these kinds of different things. So you always love that, obviously, in a Willy Wonka movie, but. And I also think the songs were good and definitely added a lot in the plot. And to me, they were my favorite parts.
Oh yeah,
to be honest.
Oh yeah, me too. And I was very surprised by Timothée Chalamet singing because like since I found out it was gonna be like a musical, I was like, can Timothée Chalamet sing at all? So
just so you know, everybody can sing nowadays in modern technology. He probably doesn't sound that great. Or maybe he does. I don't know what his training in singing is. But best believe he had a lot of work done. Just like every movie, I'm not saying that just specifically for him, and that's why he sounds so great. A part of the reason why he sounds so great. If he's really bad at singing, then you can thank the technology. If he's not bad at singing, then you can thank the technology just less. Because believe me, technology was involved. But he sounds great.
Yeah.
He sounds great. That's the point I'm trying to make. He definitely sounds great. And again, I was baffled. Like, I was really, really shocked. Because, I was like, dang. I did not expect to like this part of the movie that much. Like, the singing and the fact that when he sang, I liked it a lot as well.
Yeah, that's a really strong point. That we can both agree on.
Yeah. It was really... I was not expecting it. I'm not saying I was expecting the opposite or anything. But just, I wasn't expecting... to like it as much, especially as far as to say it's my favorite part of the movie. I definitely didn't expect that. Now, moving forward, I just want to touch really quick on the set designs because really, really good. Really, really well done. And, the whole magical wonder of it all. And just like when he opened up his factory, oh man, that just looks so cool and like awesome and just fun, And like even the, the weird places like the aforementioned laundry prison or whatever. All these types of the little town where basically the majority of the movie took place and stuff, and just him and his costume design as well. I really like that, with the stick and everything, and just like just I guess they really brought the world to life in a very good way, and I really liked the set design and the costumes and everything. I thought that was well done.
Yeah, it was very nice, fantastical layout, but also kind of felt like the maybe like kind of a stage play thing for the musical in some aspects.
I agree. You're right. I didn't think about that, but you're right. It definitely has that vibe. It definitely, it definitely has that vibe, for sure. Timothée Chalamet as Wonka, what would you rate him? Just curious.
Ranking system, I honestly would put
1 to 10.
On 1 to 10, I think I would give him about an 8.
Yeah, I buy that. I'll agree. I give him like 7.5, 8 range, and then I give the movie a 6 because of the lack of all the other things the movie didn't do so well, like weak writing and characters and this and that and the third. So I think that's a good balance. Yeah, I agree. I think it was really good. Now, where do you rank Timothée Chalamet's version of Willy Wonka in, Wilder, Depp, and Chalamet?
For me, I actually put him as number 2, like below Gene Wilder, but above Johnny Depp. Why? I think mostly going for it because his Timothée Chalamet's version is like, again, as a young Gene Wilder version of Wonka, but like before he kind of becomes a bit more like jaded and isolated, and before he does this whole kind of strategic planning thing, as like that.
Right.
But again, I put him above Johnny Depp's one because again I do like Johnny Depp's version. I do like the Johnny Depp movie, but like I really didn't like it. I really didn't see his performance of Wonka as something as good or as charming as Chalamet or Gene Wilder, because that's one thing I do that Johnny Depp got right was that Wonka was odd, but he was just odd for being odd in that version, whereas not like
odd in a different way.
Yeah, whereas the other one they were like charmingly odd and kind of smart, whereas Johnny Depp's version is just odd for being odd, but
just like weird.
Yeah, but I talked that up to like just that because that's like
the
Tim. Yeah, and
Tim, right?
Because that's Tim Burton's whole vibe thing, being like really dark and kind of moody in some aspects, but kind of have a bit of like twistiness.
Right, definitely.
But like I feel like that kind of but I feel like that kind of damages it wise for like the Willy Wonka character type,
I see where you're coming from. Well, for me, I'll say this much. Purely off of emotional reasons and sentimental value alone, Johnny Depp is number 1 for me. But I'll have to put basically reverse, your list reverse. So Depp, Chalamet, Wilder. Because I really did enjoy Chalamet as Wonka, which is, man, I was totally going into that theater thinking I was not going to for some reason. I don't know. But nothing tops Depp for me. I watched that movie so many times as a kid and, just growing up, and I love that movie personally. And that's what introduced me to, Willy Wonka as a whole. I only watched Wilder after I had watched Johnny Depp's version. So.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, but yeah, I still do love the Johnny Depp version one because I still like most of the music that I was doing because he had like different styles of music, and they kind of like expanded and made bigger and more modern to what Gene Wilder's version was for his Chocolate Factory,
right?
Which I think is what Tim Burton's movie is why I like it so much because it just goes bigger, more for like the environment and the Chocolate Factory itself.
Mm-hmm.
But for Gene Wilder's version, it's a lot more fantastical and still it's practical and pretty good. But again, I'm going off of like Wonka performance and not like movie wise.
Yeah, well, same. I guess I'm so attached to that performance. I guess.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah. But any other thoughts on Wonka?
No. I'm all good on this part.
Yeah, it looks like we pretty much have our mind pretty much at the same place with this movie. A solid 6 out of 10. Would you recommend? I recommend. I definitely recommend it. So, well, unless you're a type of person that doesn't really enjoy musicals, in that case, I wouldn't recommend because it's definitely a musical, even though it's not advertised as a musical. It's definitely pretty much there. But to anybody that doesn't mind, some song and dance in a movie at a higher volume, I would definitely, I definitely recommend it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's a good watch.
Yeah, especially if you're a Willy Wonka fan, either from the books or the
Oh,
past
yeah.
movies, then yeah, definitely go see it. This is for you.
Oh yeah, if you're a Willy Wonka fan, I mean, you gotta go see this, obviously. And so yeah, well, we both recommend it. Instead of 2, we'll give it 1 thumbs up from us because But with that being said, that's gonna do it for us. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure to do so because again, it really does help us out. And the best way of letting us know you like this video, if you did, is by hitting that thumbs up button down there because again, that really does help us out and we appreciate it so much. We bring you guys videos once a week, sometimes more. We try to pump out this content for you guys, so we're very excited to keep on doing so. And this is gonna do it for us. This was the Big Screen Show, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.